Are you serious? My camera's not level. Oh my goodness, that's close. That's so close, but it's like a hair off. Oh man, that is so close. Are you serious, guys? Are you serious? Welcome, guys. This is the Coming Apocalypse. I'm Pastor Paul Begley, and it is November the 15th, 2021, and we got an update. Russia. Are you serious? Boot scooting Putin. He's at it again. But first, before I tell you about the Russian troop buildups and the fear that NATO has, let's put a shout out for noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Now listen, not everyone is interested in precious metals and IRAs or 401ks and rollovers, but some people are happily putting their life savings and their retirement funds on the stock market. Are you serious? Some people are launching themselves into property investments, and some like the idea of cryptocurrencies, leveraging their investments. All of that is a little bit dangerous. Matter of fact, what could possibly go wrong in this Biden super hyperinflation economy? What about the supply chain issues? Are they getting any better? Has anybody checked with the vice president lately what she's doing or what anybody's doing? Inflation, superinflation, higher climbing unemployment. It's a bit risky out there. That's why I'm going to recommend, and I'm not even going to talk about the $28 trillion in debt and this new $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill that we don't even know if there's any infrastructure in. I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about you, your retirement. It's in a 401k. It needs to be diversified. And the way to do it would be to go to www.noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Let Colin Plume or one of his associates help you. You can pick up the phone and call them at 5. Well, what is the number? 668. What? How can I not remember the number? How do I forget the number? 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And if you do get a gold or silver IRAs established with Noble Gold, they will give you this beautiful 5 ounces of pure silver coin called America the Beautiful. They'll give it to you for free. Are you serious? Are they serious? They are very serious, and you'll be glad you did. Tell them Pastor Begley sent you over there, okay? All right. Now, where is the Ohio State shirt? I hear you. I know what happened. I just want to go on record. Ohio State crushed Purdue. I gotcha. I got it. But I just want to say, aren't you proud of the Boilermakers that they beat Michigan State and Iowa? They're ranked number 2 and 3 teams in the nation. Now, they can't beat everybody in the top 5. So they just decided to let the Buckeyes go. Just let them go. That's for another time. Can't rush the field. Purdue just can't rush the field 3 times in one season. It just wouldn't be right. So we let Ohio State have that one. Okay. Anyway, Ohio State has a shot at a national championship. But you better go through the dogs at Georgia. And don't count out the Tide. Did you see what they did this weekend? 59-3. Ooh, it's a whooping. Okay, I got to talk about something. Can I talk about what's seriously happening here? Vladimir Putin, boot scooting Putin, has moved a ton of troops. Not only is he moved troops into Belarus, which is threatening Poland, but he has moved 100,000 troops to the border of Ukraine. While everybody's watching Afghanistan, everybody's still watching the fiasco. We still got Americans caught behind enemy lines. And this whole disaster of the Taliban and the disaster everywhere of everything. Boot scooting Putin, Vladimir Putin, quietly moves his troops upon the border of Ukraine. The head of NATO has urged Russia to be transparent about why its military plans after an increase in the numbers of troops on its border with Ukraine. Matter of fact, Jens Stoltenberg said a large and unusual buildup of Russian forces have been spotted on the border in the past few weeks. And he spoke amid speculation that Russia could be planning to invade Ukraine. Moscow has dismissed such fears as alarmist and complained of increasing NATO activities in the region. Matter of fact, speaking after talks with Ukraine's foreign minister in Brussels, Mr. Stoltenberg said that the important thing was to stop the tensions from spiraling out of control, and he warned Russia against taking any aggressive actions. Also, Stoltenberg said, we see an unusual concentration of Russian troops, and we know that Russia has been willing to use these type of military capabilities before and conduct aggressive actions against Ukraine. A large part of Russia's forces in Crimea, the peninsula which Russia annexed and took from Ukraine back in March of 2014. Same time, ISIS was rising up after Obama vacated Iraq. Here we are again, 7 years later, Russia on the borders of Ukraine, and troops have paratroopers have dropped into Belarus, which is on the border of Russia. And they're doing all of this when after Biden exits Afghanistan and is also leaving a lot of military equipment that's being picked up and now being used by the Taliban. This is a repeat. So Russia takes advantage of that and makes their move again. It's a repeat of 7 years ago. It's unbelievable. I covered it 7 years ago. I'm covering it again today. And you know what? Most of your mainstream fake news media don't even see it or are turning a very blind eye or complicit in their coverage. Now, Ukraine's President Zelensky said last week were nearly 100,000 Russian soldiers near the Ukraine border. Stoltenberg said the troop buildup was dangerous because it cut the amount of warning time should Russia decide to conduct a military aggression action against Ukraine. And United Kingdom's Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that the border situation was concerning and that Britain would back Ukraine if faced of a Russian hostility. That's big that they said that. That's huge. We haven't heard that from Biden. And according to U.S. media reports, Washington has warned the European Union allies last week about intelligence suggesting Moscow was preparing for a possible invasion of Ukraine. We could send Hunter Biden over there. He knows the Ukrainians very good. And from what I understand, he knows the former Moscow, Russia's wife pretty good also. Just saying. Oh, and Britain's most senior military officer said we have to be on our guard about this situation. Even General Sir Nick Carter told the BBC on BBC One's Andrew Marr show that he distinctively hoped there would not be a war with Russia, but NATO would have to be ready. He suggested the border crisis between Belarus and Poland was being used by Russia as a classic example of a bit of distraction from its activities on the Ukrainian border. And Russian President Vladimir Putin told state television in Moscow Sunday that he was concerned about the military drills by NATO's warships in the Black Sea off the coast of Crimea. All of this is happening, guys. It is a replay, and it's happening the week of the longest blood moon of the century. 3.5 hour blood moon. It's going to happen on the morning of November 19th, this Friday. All of these things, we've seen this last time in 2014. There was a blood moon. There was a Russian invasion. There was a American withdrawal, and there was a rise of ISIS. 7 years later, we're going to have this longest blood moon. We have a Russian buildup on the borders. We have a American withdrawal from Iraq, and we have a rise of the Taliban. It's unbelievable. And I'm telling you, is it in the Bible? Well, Russia is certainly in the Bible, and others in the battle of Gog and Magog. And so when you read that in Ezekiel 38 and 39, you know that Turkey and Russia and Iran and Libya and Ethiopia and others, it says, will build a consortium, a consolidated confederacy against Israel. And believe me, Israel's already got their eyes on Iran. They know how dangerous it is. They're watching on a daily and moment-to-moment basis, especially when the United Nations this past week passed 3 resolutions against the nation of Israel. Guys, we're living in the last days. I'm going to give you more information as it comes available because it's coming fast now. Prophecy is jumping off the pages. I'll be back in a few minutes. Give your life to Jesus Christ because we're almost out of time. Oh, and by the way, Heidi said, what are you doing? People are, it's cold season. There's a lot of flus and viruses and things floating around. Matter of fact, that reminds me, got to take a little bit of my immune support with Nano Silver Sol. This is silver taste, you know, it just tastes like you're drinking a drink of water, really. But it gives my immunity some strong up builds with immunity support. And if your throat gets a little scratchy and you're starting a little bit of a cough and a little scratch, oh, don't let that get started, guys. Make sure you got silver lozenges. This is also at my website. It's also got the Manuka honey in it. This is the best lozenges in the world. Ask Pastor Melvin Whittington. He'll tell you he's never seen anything better. Nothing ever stops the preacher's croup, the sore throat. And get this, it's got also immune support supplement, cooling action, soothing action, gluten-free, soy-free, nut-free. It's and Manuka honey to go with the silver lozenges. That's got to be the best, healthiest lozenges there is on the market. And also the wound gel. This will cure those abrasions, those cuts, those minor burns, minor cuts, lacerations, abrasions, 1st and 2nd degree burns, skin irritations. Let me tell you what happened to me over the last week on vacation. I had a scalding hot cup of coffee that I got at a Pilot truck stop. And when I got in the car, I was trying to put my seatbelt on and I was holding it in my hand and the lid popped off and I spilled it right on this hand and leg. And I was wearing a pair of shorts and it scalded me. I mean, this was, it hurt for an hour. It literally hurt for an hour. Thank God I had silver wound gel. Put it on there. No blistering, nothing. Just soothed and soothed and soothed. The pain went away and there was no scarring. There was no burning visible. So I'm telling you, that's good stuff. And oh, by the way, keep this on hand, silver toothpaste. This is some of the best stuff we've ever put out there. It is great because there's no fluoride. Hello. Get those teeth looking bright and shiny. My Lord have mercy. And it's got silver in it. Kill off all those bacteria and viruses. And it's got a wintergreen taste. So this is great toothpaste. I had to tell you about that. So now I've done what Heidi said to do. She said, make sure you tell people about the silver products during the month of November and December because this is the time that it likes to break loose. So I'm telling you now, okay? Or you can go get a flu shot. I'll give your life to Jesus Christ, guys. We're running out of time. Seriously. Are you saved?